I'm Alex. I'm a senior product designer, and I would give user testing a 5 out of 5. For more reviews like this, please click below. Prior to user testing, we had a very manual process where we were using things like Calendly and then having to schedule with customers. We had to have a very long approval process to get our customers from our product and marketing department. And then we were having to schedule via Zoom. And then, of course, customers get busy, they'd have to cancel and then reschedule. And so prior to user testing, our average time to run one test actually took us about 3 to 4 weeks. When you are dealing with recruiting your own participants, obviously there's a lot of steps of approval that make that process take a lot longer, but also you're not really getting access to anybody who's new or is a new user or has never seen your product before. And so after a while, you start to keep tapping into the same users and you're not really getting anybody that's fresh eyes on your product. And then I think the third one is especially the dealing of compensation. So if you're doing everything yourself, you're not only having to recruit the users, get approval, from customer service or marketing that you can reach out to them, but then you're also having to get budget approval to compensate those users. So now I'm having to put something on my personal credit card and then wait to get reimbursed for it. And so having a platform that's not only finding those users for you, but then is also dealing with the compensation really took off, a lot of extra weight that was on my plate that just really bogged me down in terms of time and management. So, getting started with user testing is fairly easy. I do think it helps to have some background or knowledge of how user testing works, whether that be qualitative or quantitative research. If you've never run a test before in your life, I would absolutely work with their sales team. They're amazing. They help onboard you. There's testing templates that are really great that are already created for you. So, I wouldn't say the most naive person in the world can just up and use it, but they do a really good job of making sure that there's test plans and templates that are already created that you can kind of just plug and chug, especially if you don't have a UX researcher on your team. They've kind of done a lot of that grunt work for you. My recommendations for somebody who wants to go down the route of getting user testing is really have a plan of action in place of how you are going to sell this to your stakeholders as a product designer, UX designer, UX researcher, you want this tool because it's going to make your job better and your job more efficient, but that's not always translatable to stakeholders. So, one of the things that I always suggest so that you can really get past not only buy-in but get budget is make sure you have a plan. What are you going to use this for? What are the first couple of tests that you want to run? How is this going to improve your product delivery? How is this going to impact the business? It's really important that you have some sort of strategy or roadmap in place because if you secure budget for this tool, you really want to make sure you're getting the most bang for your buck. And part of that is having an idea or thought process of how you're going to do that. And so that ensures not only that, this year is successful with the tool, but that you also secure that budget for user testing the next year.